Give me a head shake, Marty. Thank you very much, Marty. Hey, 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 guys, it is the Obless on Tuesday. I think it's the 65th million show we've had about Obless. It keeps getting bigger and bigger and better. I have a very, very special guest, and I want to tell you the quick story how it happened. I think I told you about it on my live, but if you didn't watch my live, this is exactly what happened. I came upstairs from the basement to get my holy book, the Bible. Everyone knows I like to read the Bible. I set it down next to me at 10. I think it was 9 or 10 o'clock last night. And I thought, oh my gosh, I forgot to get someone for Obless. That second later, a beautiful lady called Gemma called me or texted me instantly and tells me about this phenomenal guy. She goes, he can do it tomorrow or next Tuesday. I immediately pressed the speed dial for Gemma. She was at a party. We could barely hear each other. That's all I said, let's get him on here. And that is a true story there, guys. So like I said, the good Lord's always taking care of me. I believe he brought me a very wonderful person. And I'm going to give this floor to Gemma, and she's going to take it over there and introduce this special person. And afterwards, when he's done, we can bring on the discussion, questions, whatever you guys want. Gemma Remke, thank you very much. The floor is yours.
Chris, do you want the host?
Yeah, if you want to give me the host, you can, Marty. You ready, Gemma?
Yes, I am.
You go right ahead. It's all yours, Gemma.
Hello, everyone. I'm Gemma Remke from Calgary, Canada. While at a Rotary function yesterday, I met Dr. Kishan Narayan, who is a cardiac surgeon and loves to work with underprivileged people, especially children. He is here tonight, so I would let him tell you all about his work and what he does. Dr. Kishan Narayan, the floor is yours. Talk to us. Chris?
You lose him? Did we lose him?
I don't know. Did you?
No, he's here. Unmute yourself,
Okay.
sir. You got to go down. Well, if you're on your computer, there's a little microphone all the way down to the bottom on your left, sir. Nope, you're not unmuted. There you go.
I know. Okay.
There you go. Thank you.
Well, thank you for having me this evening. I was fortunate enough to meet Jenna yesterday by accident at the get-together at the Rotary. And she was enthusiastically telling me about your group. So, and I saw a lot of enthusiasm tonight when I witnessed you all greeting each other. Now, Jenna asked me to tell you a little bit about our humanitarian work. Now, I was born in Guyana, South America, spent most of my life in Canada, grew up in Canada, and got educated in Canada, Europe, Australia, and the United States. So finally, I'm a cardiothoracic surgeon, mostly subspecialized in cardiac transplantation, but I do all cardiac surgery. Ever since I was a resident and coming from Guyana, I always felt the need to do something for the people who are like me in the poorer countries. And so as a resident, I went on a lot of missions with people who led projects like these in developing countries. We went to Burundi, Iraq, Iran, Palestine, to Guyana, to even Jamaica once, and in Central America. So I was going on a lot of these trips. And when I became a surgeon, and I'm working currently at the University of Calgary Hospital in Canada, in Alberta, where I'm also a professor, I had to, because there was so much of this need was so large, I was doing it until then with a group of friends. You know, I have friends in different continents where I was trained. So we could easily put together a group of surgeons to achieve a mission. For instance, if it's Guyana or somewhere, we could get together. But as well, on one of those trips, actually, I should mention, we went to Nepal, near to Nepal, and I was fortunate enough to meet Mother Teresa. And we chatted and got acquainted. And I told her, Mother, one of these days when I can afford it, I will adopt one child from you. And so when I was finished studying, she wrote to me and she said, well, are you finished? And I said I was finished and I would like to adopt a child. I had asked at that time for a child with a physical handicap. So, we could get it looked after if that was the case. At that time, she wrote back to me and told me there were two girls, two sisters, and if we took them, they will be together. So to make a long story short, I ended up adopting two children from her orphanage as well. And these things, and along the way, I met a lot of other people, but these things all were part of the effort to give back and to try to do something for people who were like me or even less fortunate. So now, I will shift up to Canada. Being in Canada, we continued doing this work. Like we went to Guyana. In 2004, I went to Guyana in South America, where there were, to be honest, more cats in the hospital that I went to than people. But then we started putting in ambulances, getting people to the hospital. Eventually, we were able to put in, I'm a cardiac surgeon, so we were able to put in cardiac surgery, which was never in Guyana, for children and adults. Now, initially, was there a question?
No, go ahead, Dr. Edgar. Can you try to keep yourself muted, please? I'll get him. You keep talking, Doc.
Okay. So in Guyana, we were able, we told the government and worked with them, and we were able to put in cardiac surgery. Today, there is some cardiac surgery for children happening in Guyana. But initially, I took those children from Guyana, and we got some donations from some charity in Toronto, and we were able to take them to the Dominican Republic, where we operated on them. And we had their hospital that was built for Haiti at that time during the earthquake, and we could use those facilities for these children. Eventually, we were able to set things up in Guyana, and at the moment, we have cardiac surgery running for children in Guyana. It's not yet optimal, but we are working on it. Following that, I got some requests to visit Central America. And at the moment, when I was in Central America, I was asked to visit Nicaragua, which was one of the poorer countries. And it's usually those countries, that don't have a good government and things that there's the most need. So I went, and we initiated a program in Nicaragua to build from scratch cardiac surgery services for children, especially for children and adults. And by doing that, you can upgrade a hospital, and it seeps out to the rest of the community. And then we could help more children. And so we are committed to children having first-class cardiac care. Sometimes it's a short operation, and it means that they will live a long life. But we do other things. We do in Guyana. When I was there once, I came out of the operating room and I met a young girl, and she was standing outside with a little child. And I said to her, "Why are you here?" Because we are doing cardiac surgery. "Why are you here?" And she said to me, "Oh, I'm here for my dialysis." And I said to her, "You dialysis?" She was probably about 34. And I knew she will not live long enough to see that child grow up. If she's 34 and she's having dialysis, either she will get infected in Guyana, and she traveled 3 or 4 hours to get to that hospital. So on my return to Canada, I took some steps to get things together, and I went back to Guyana, chose one of their young people there who was doing surgery, brought him over to Canada. I put him up at the hospital in someone's basement, but he spent 1.5 years here, close to 2 years, being trained in renal transplant. I got then assistance from the government of Alberta, and I was able to put down services in Guyana for renal transplant. Today, they're transplanting kidneys in Guyana. I think 2 years ago, he started the program, and I was able to write a law for them to obtain organs from living donors. So we were, aside from cardiac surgery, we were able to put in some other services as the need was there. So today, Guyana has also kidney transplant, and this young girl and people in developing countries who suffer so much from diabetes and hypertension, they don't need to have dialysis all their life from 34 years old. So they can get a transplantation of a single kidney, even from a living donor, and living or cadaveric donor, and they should be able to lead a normal life. Now, I will get quickly to the point, the current situation. The government of Alberta wanted to help me in 2019, but they said to me, we cannot help you as a person only. I mean, we can't just donate things to you. You have to be an organization, as you may know. So we, with the friends and with myself and my wife, we incorporated and created World Heart Caregivers. So World Heart Caregivers is an international organization made up of volunteers, and we have a website, the worldheartcaregivers.com, and we, just to inform people about what we do. So we develop basic medical services and cardiac services, which people may say is too expensive, but it's not the case. For years, 100 years, people were trying to just give clean water, but nothing changed for these poor countries. So we thought if we put in also sophisticated services, it will trickle down to the rest of the society, and that's what's happening. So today, things have changed. We don't only do the basic medical things like clean water and things like that, that's needed, but you can also put in sophisticated surgery and medical care that can treat people and will seep out to the rest of the community and upgrade the community as a whole. And so that's what we were asked to do currently in Nicaragua, where we are working together. And I've just come back from Nicaragua last week, and we are building a service there for children and adults as well, so that they can have cardiac surgery. And this whole organization is based on volunteers from all over the world, from Europe. We helped Panama put in a pediatric cardiac surgical service. And so basically that's what it is. So I spend my vacation time doing that type of work. And like tonight, after my work at the hospital, I spend some hours for the humanitarian organization. And I'm happy to take any questions that you may have. I think there's a lot that you may have to ask, you need to ask, but I'll prefer to take the questions if you don't mind.
Yeah, first of all, I want to thank you for coming on here and sharing this. I have a question. How old are your daughters now that you adopted?
So my daughters, I have two little children of my own, because traveling and things, I waited a little while, but my daughters are 21 and 23. And one of them, I was in Belgium. I was the head of cardiac transplantation in Belgium, in Brussels, for a while before I returned to Canada. And she stayed in Belgium to finish her studies. And the other one just graduated as a dental assistant. She can help the dentist. So I had to write to the sisters of Mother Teresa and let them know, because they always want to be kept up how the kids are doing. That's one of the conditions. Actually, there were two conditions that I always write, but Mother Teresa held me and she said, there's only one condition for me, and that is that you baptize them. Otherwise, all other things for me are not important. And so I baptized them. I actually also became involved with the church at that time and was able to do something, for people who were ill and in the hospital. If they wanted to speak to someone and they didn't understand things, I volunteered to be the doctor who they can come to and talk. And because they might want to talk about their faith and things like that, and they can feel comfortable doing that.
Okay, I'm going to ask you another question I think a lot of people ask. what was Mother Teresa like? Did you get to meet her or just
Yes,
talk
yes,
to her?
yes. No, no, no. We meet and sat down and talked a couple several times. And she was very, I must say, when you meet her the first time, I knew about her, but anyway, for someone who would meet her the first time, I think the first thing would be that humility, simplicity, and simple language, and her commitment to people. She just in a few words. So first of all, very humble and very quiet. A few words when it's necessary, and when she uttered those words, you can see. I mean, I'm not here, we are not in a church, but I do most of this also because of my faith in the Lord. And you don't need to, I don't want to impose that on anyone, but when you speak to her, you feel it. So she is very simple, and the simplicity is what is most striking. And she never would say a word about it. So she greet you actually. She's making me feel important when you're with her.
Wow, that was a pretty powerful answer there. I didn't expect that kind of answer, but I'm glad that you said it. I think I can actually say now I know someone that actually talked to Mother Teresa. That's a really cool thing, and to actually experience it, how you just talked about it, what a blessing. That's definitely God's blessing to get to close to someone like that. Really cool. All right. Does anyone, and this is a tough one, guys. He threw a whole bunch of stuff at you. Someone's got to have some questions in here. Or, can you, before we do that, you guys start raising your hand if you got a question. What is the name of your charity? What is the name of the organization?
It's called World Heart Caregivers.
World Heart Caregivers. Now, This is something that Obless can help with a lot, can it?
I just had a quick read of what Gemma sent to me about Obless.
Right.
And I think, I want to be open from the beginning. Like Obless, I was just a person. So Obless, I started all of this, right?
Right.
So Obless is a group of you all, a whole organization of you. And so another organization might be there also, or another person. But if there's a genuine will to help, you can always do something.
Amen to that.
So I think Obless, with what it's doing, you can always do, like helping people. That's free, my friend. You don't have to pay to go help people. You can help people. You have it in you to help people in so many ways. There's so many things you could do. You don't even have to have money to help somebody. Helping people is for me, is to be there so that they can be worthy in their own eyes. And as a person, first of all, I don't mean helping somebody to be rich or something like that, but helping a person to be a person. That's free. We all have that ability.
Absolutely. Yep. That's a true statement there. I see one of my favorite dudes, Daryl Cook, has his hand up. Daryl, can you unmute yourself, please?
Yes. Doctor, I'm taking notes. I just need to know how to address your name. Is it Dr. Narayan?
Yes, that's right. Thanks.
Okay, very good. Thank you. And just thanks for coming on. Very, very informative, very instructive, and wow, talk about humble. I think Mother Teresa had a whole lot of influence on you. You are very humble, my friend. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Daryl Cook. Oh, guys, come on. I've never seen you this shy before. Gene, I know you got something cooking in that brain. Come on. Christina Dodds. You guys, here's the guy that met Mother Teresa, actually adopted 2 beautiful children from Mother Teresa. I know there's got to be some questions out there, especially about his organization. There we go. All right, Miss Nadu, can you please unmute yourself?
Thank you, Chris. I'm so blessed to be here and hear all the things Doctor was talking about. Most of the time, we think that we need money. We need to eat and have something left before we can give. And he's here showing that everybody, no matter who you are, you have something to give. And I want to say thank you for that. And there's something that we do in Unpassive. I think we have Chris Johnson as a Mother Teresa of Unpassive. And the only thing he cannot do is to stay quiet like Mother Teresa.
You know, that's hard for me to stay quiet.
That will be hard. On this side, you cannot be Mother Teresa.
Yeah.
But I want to thank you for what you are doing.
No, thank
Now,
you.
I don't know if you have a method, a strategy to take care of those kids. Because you know, some people, they are in need, but they won't let it go. This is my concern.
So could you be so kind as to repeat it, the question?
My concern is that you have that good heart to help people.
Yes.
So what is your approach to convince them that you can help me and bring something better to their life?
Well, I can tell you, I will give you an example.
Right.
Take Guyana or Nicaragua. The first thing is that we usually speak to the people responsible. At least from a practical standpoint, I will speak to the government or to the president or to the Minister of Health, but I usually even speak to the president unless it's too political, then we don't want to be political. But what I try to do, I didn't get your first name, but what I try to do is let them, even the president, for instance, or the people I'm speaking to, and we give some lectures before, know that they are capable, not because that they're in a poor country or they're, we have different color of skin, whatever it is, that each one of us is capable of doing great things given the opportunity. And then when they are convinced, be it the president or the people, once they are convinced that, we can do it. Poverty may be keeping us back, but as people, I always tell them, when I give a lecture to the group at first, you contact your hands and they're 10 fingers. You have 10 fingers. You can do things. You're the Lord's children. You're equal to everybody. And that's your strength and that's your richness. And now we just have to create the opportunity with your cooperation to help you out of this poverty or this thing that is keeping you back and is affecting you. And once the people are convinced, I have not had a project that fails. They push me. After that, they are pushing me. And sometimes I have to keep them back. Like right now, I was in Nicaragua last week, and they said, we want you back on the 19th of August because there's a national celebration and we want you to say what you're doing. But of course, I have my family and I cannot go. But basically, to answer your question, the way I do this is to make the people know that they are worthy, that they believe in themselves, and not because I was born in a country like that and I'm transplanting hearts in Canada. So there's no reason why they cannot do it. So they're capable, but we have to put ourselves together to help ourselves. And we are here to give all the help what we can free. And usually it works.
I believe you if you say it because you were there, you are doing it, and you are saying it. It's not like you learn it. It's a story that you hear from someone.
Yes.
So thank you very much. I like the methodology.
I even told it to some presidents. Like I took one president, I don't want to mention the names, and I said, look, remember when you were a boy walking out there? I know you're a president now, you're a rich guy and all that, but in that big thing, do you find there's some little space, some little extra thing Do you have that for those little kids still? Can you find that in yourself? And one president, he was joking, yes, yes. And then I took him out to the street. So we went one night for a walk. And I told, these are the guys. And this is what we want to have. I just want you to remember in yourself, if there's, and you have a very short life. I always remind them from my work in cardiac surgery, sometimes I operate on a patient and I go see him in intensive care the next morning. And he, oh, doctor, thank you. I'm so happy, you know, I'm going to do this. And I know that the day before, one little thread smaller than my hair, one of your hairs, if I did not see that it wasn't straight, he wouldn't be here this morning. So it's that thin a line and it's that short a life that we have. And so I often remind people that for those of us who believe in the Lord, he has given us a life, but a short, little, insignificant life. And we have to be conscious of it and live it consciously. And if we want to do something, we have to do it, not talk about doing it. And often the presidents, you know, hope until now, they didn't kick me out of the country.
You are absolutely right, because even God who made us, he doesn't want to save us without us. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Wow. Good question there, Nadu. Very good question. Okay, Gene.
Thank you.
Guys, get those hands up. Listen, I know Marcine, you got questions. I just know it. I can see it in your eyes. And don't be afraid, guys. This guy is here to educate us about what he's doing and also take questions. So I don't care. Get those hands up or I'm going to pick on you. All right, Gene, go ahead.
Doctor, thank you so much for coming tonight and giving us your story. You mentioned that you provide your services free and also that you weren't quite up to speed with everything that Obless offers. So just in a nutshell, it is essentially a crowdfunding platform that is fee-free, meaning if someone donates to a cause, all of that money goes directly to the cause. So it's an unprecedented platform, but it's beyond just money. It's also going to have movements behind it, projects, people going, you know, and supporting these projects. So it's bigger than just the money. But for you, knowing that, how, if you imagine that right now we're about 1.4 million strong, and if we each give $1, that's instantly $1.4 million to your cause. So thinking on that grand scale, what are the kind of things that Obless could support your efforts with? Would it be building a hospital? Would it be getting staff? What would it be?
Well, I tell you what, Gene, like, for instance, 2 years ago, the government of Alberta, you know, for those of us who are not in Canada, Alberta is one of the provinces of Canada. And in Calgary, we are in Calgary, and the health service said to me, we will want to donate 2 machines to you, heart-lung machines, you know, the heart-lung machines. And each machine, if you buy one today, it's about $500,000. And they donated the machine, and I brought it, I have some pictures, into my garage. I got some guys from the hospital to come and make sure everything is okay. And we took the machine down there. So in that way, they helped us by giving some equipment that we needed. But I will come to your question, but I just want to let you know. So what I do is that I would go, when I go to a country like the government or I speak to the president, I said to him, I always say to them, you know, you all buy big cars, and even the poor countries, they drive the biggest cars. So maybe you can find some money to support this project. And they often do. They say, okay, we will provide the infrastructure for the people who go with me. They will pay the passage and they give us food for the days that we are on the ground. And that's, so I don't need to pay, you know what I mean? I didn't need to have a lot of money in my hands at that moment. When I went to Guyana, they needed angiographic machine, you know, that take the pictures of your heart. So I negotiated with the European Union, and we got agreement that they can supply them. The European Union will provide a machine for Guyana. But then I put them in touch with the people in Guyana so that I don't want the money business. You know? I'm not good at handling that. And so they speak to Guyana directly, and they were able to help them directly. And then we can use that there to help. So I've been able to avoid this big money thing because I don't want it too much. We only want to be able to do the work. So now, like your, like Obless, how Obless, I don't need anything like to me or to the organization as such. But what we do need, for instance, I'm going to Nicaragua now. But one of our fears and people who want to volunteer is that when we operate on little children, they have a very small amount of blood in their body. And we don't want to lose all the blood. So there's a machine called a cell saver for those of us who know. And we can suck that blood up, process it, and give it back to the child. Also, in those countries, we don't have a lot of blood banks. A machine like that costs probably $75,000. You're talking about 1 million people, $1, right? And I'm struggling. I get a lot of complaints home because I have a young family also. But to put together like something like that, just to get 75,000. Now I negotiated with the company, and the company brought for another machine which I needed was 70,000. The company has sold it, given it to me for 21,000. And so I was able to pay for that one on my own. And when I told them in Nicaragua that I paid, I think they said to me, we don't need you to do that. We will find the money. And they were able to reimburse me for that, but we got some reduction. So Obless can help me. First of all, if there's any people in Obless who are interested to volunteer even 1 or 2 hours of their time in the month to support me administratively, like I am doing most of these things myself, right? That's one, like some administrative support or I think something like that. And also to provide, if they can, to help us to get some of the equipment that we make, but not to, because Obless should be helping many people, not only us. So something small, if you get 1 million donated by Obless members, then maybe 1 or 2 equipment for us, 1 or 2 something for another person, so that more people are helped, That's what Obless can do for me.
And it sounds like what you're doing and working with the governments and organizational leaders and whatnot is critical, because it's empowering the places where these children and people that need the surgeries. It's empowering the community. It's not just throwing money at it. It's getting them involved. It's getting them involved and giving them some accountability for the people in their charge. So what you're doing already is so critical. And what Obless could, one way that it could help is to fund the things that you're talking about, and also to be a pool of people to give you that administrative support, that all the things that you might need going forward. And then your job then would be to, as we've all been doing, expand your thinking beyond, to be helping more and more people. But I think the way that you've been doing it is absolutely beautiful. I know, Bless, it's only going to help you, and it can help you in whatever way you want it to.
Dean, I'll tell you another thing. I have the agreements on the website. You can see. So what I do, like when I go to Nicaragua, for instance, now, it's a very poor country. And I say to them, look, we always make an agreement, and depending on their condition, for Nicaragua, I said to them 6 years. In the 5th year, when I come here with my team, you should be telling us, thanks, guys. Thanks for the help, but no thanks. You can have some food, enjoy the place, and go back. And so that we would make them self-sufficient. So right now in Nicaragua, I have selected 32 people for the hospital. We're training people to be surgeons. We're training people to be good intensive care nurses. We're training people to work in the operation room. I got some money. We sent 2 boys away to Guatemala, which is also a poor country, but they are learning to operate the heart-lung machine. I sent 2 girls. I encourage the government that we talk to Mexico because of the Spanish language, and that they go to Mexico. And they're in Mexico right now getting some training in heart surgery for children. And when we visit Nicaragua, they come operate with us, and so that in fact the program has to be self-sustaining. And so when we stop after 3 years, they should ask us to leave. They don't need to be, and that's one of the things that I tell them, and I make the initial speeches, that we are equal in the Lord's eyes. We are able, and okay, we don't need to depend on other people forever to do things for us. We can do it ourselves. And as a matter of fact, in Nicaragua, they're so convinced that they have asked me now that when we finish this center, can it be a center where we can go to the rest of Central America? So right now, when I went there last week, and another time on Obless, I can show you the presentation, is that we hope that these people now, and we started making the contacts with Honduras, El Salvador, and Guatemala, that they will be able to go there too. Like I can, I'm not going to be able to do this forever, but they will be able to go there and help those children. And so there will be some kind of exchange. Do you understand? Like, so it's
a blueprint. You're
exactly.
Creating a blueprint that then can be replicated, which is phenomenal.
And
in the meantime, no, keep going.
No, they can become World Heart Caregivers, and they can go and help people. Because, well, maybe I'm not going to be able to do this one day, but I want that on my last day that I have said that I have made my life worthy. At least I tried. And the life that was given to you is nothing nicer than to know that you earned that humanity. You were given the potential to be a human being, as they say sometimes. And with your life, you earn that title, if you wish.
That's beautiful. That's so beautiful. And when you're training all these people, I mean, that's another thing Obless can help with, is to cover their travel, to cover their needs as they're being trained, so that they can then take over when you want to step back.
Yes, like those girls in Nicaragua who went to Mexico, they don't have so much support. Like we try to send them some things, but they are not like the usual people in training. Thank you.
Very, very good question.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Doctor, I'm going to break something down about Unpassive and Obless. I know you're new to it. Yeah. Unpassive was designed and created by a gentleman named Ash Mafara, and his whole goal and plan was to change and help humanity. So we don't just help out with one thing, we help out with everything. And you're the kind of people we're looking for, because you're doing it. You could train people how to do it. Like you said, you're not going to be able to do this forever. I honestly wish you could do it forever, because I think you're great at it and you had the will to do it. But there's going to be a lot of individuals, hopefully young individuals, who follow in your footsteps through Unpassive, through Obless, where you can teach them and help people. The whole goal is to fix things in this world that either has not been addressed, or we just ignored, or just gets a little bit of help from people like you. So that's giving you a quick little thing about Unpassive and Obless, just to let you know.
And I think the person who, if I may add, who formed Unpassive, he probably reached a point where he realized that we are not just here for ourselves. I mean, it's everybody around us who make us who we are. That's a saying that they say, the people around you make you who you are.
He would probably have a very good conversation with you.
Yeah, it's that little wisdom and that insight. I just ask for everybody, even for my wife or the children or anybody. The only thing is to recognize your humanity in the other person.
Amen.
And if you see that, I don't see how you can deny another person or treat him other than like yourself. But you just need to take the time, and you will see how refreshing it is to yourself. Just try.
Amen. Amen. Okay, let me mute that gentleman. Gene, thank you very much. Richard, you had your hand up. Did you put it down, or did you get knocked off? Richard Lamoot, you there?
Yes, I'm here. I love all of you beautiful people from the bottom of my heart. I looked at the site, and unfortunately, I saw a no. GoFundMe.
Oh,
They keep a percent of the money.
no. So what happened? They were one of the volunteers for the machine I told you about. You remember that machine?
Yes.
So he said he will, I think it's Ronan Cocker, the name of the person, and he was going to get some donations to help with that machine. But as you see, there were not much donations on that thing. I don't even know if, I haven't looked at it, but I don't think there are any donations to it.
So there was one.
There was one. That's from the secretary of the board of directors.
Hold on, Richard, let me jump in here for a quick second. Number one, GoFundMe is not a bad thing. They've helped out a lot of people.
I actually don't know what GoFundMe is, but one of the people put that on.
Yeah, no, we're not. Remember, Richard, we're not here to judge. GoFundMe has helped out millions of people. Yeah, they've made a lot of money, but that's what Ash saw.
Well, who makes this money? The GoFundMe people, not me.
Yeah, no, they get a big percentage. They make a lot of money off people, but
well, and you know, it's maybe a no, but I don't know, man. Who is gonna help these people?
Right. No, it's not a no. Ash is just doing it better. That's all. GoFundMe, there's a lot of platforms out there, doctor, that do great things, but they turn them into businesses where they make money. But in fact, they still help a lot of people out, but they can do a lot more if all the money went to those individuals that need help. That's what I'm saying.
I haven't gotten any money yet from that thing. I hope they can get some money from it, but we haven't been able to use that. I think the people who put it up, she put in the money herself. Right. I haven't put in any money myself, but was to buy this heater cooler. So when we operate on a patient, we need to cool their bodies. And so when I went to Nicaragua, they found the machine. But the machine is about 40 years old. And when I asked volunteer surgeons to go with me, they say, no, we don't want to kill anybody. Because if you have and it's just a small machine, but if you have a machine like that, it can go down at any time. So I was trying to buy, and I ended up getting the company to reduce the price from a new one. And I got a refurbished one that was used once at the University of Toronto. But I mean, I don't know what the problem is with the GoFundMe, but anyway, if there is
there's not a problem. Richard's just making a point that they take money from people to help people, but we're not going to do that. But Richard, what else you got, buddy?
No. What I want is to find out, how do we donate people to money to your organization to buy equipment like you were saying that's needed, or to build a hospital or whatever.
Yes.
Your goal is, how do we get the money to you without somebody taking 30% of it away from you?
Well, the way I would recommend, but I have to talk to the board. I put together a board of directors, but I would recommend is this. If you want to give some money to it, you appoint somebody of you who will see how that money is spent. And I will tell them how to spend it. You understand? You don't need to give me any of that money in my hand or any to me.
No. I want to give it to the organization so that you can buy equipment.
Yeah. So the way to do that is I think the best way to do those things is like, if we see there's an equipment, we let the company say, this is what it costs, or if it is a hospital, whatever it is, this is the cost of it. And I give that receipt, that invoice to you.
Yeah, Richard.
You can pay it directly to those people.
Richard, that's all in Ash's plan. We will have the right people through Passive, through Obless, legally, to make sure everything goes right. I'm one of those people that's going to make things are done right. And I can tell you right now,
I would like that kind of help because I want it to be done right.
Yeah.
You understand?
A lot of us want to help, doctor. And just from knowing you for a few minutes, I would trust you 100%. But we will do it right. I promise you that the money will go to the right place. If you need money to buy those machines you need after we launch, we're going to get them for you. We're going to get them to the right places too. So that's what we're all about. Richard, you got anything else?
Well, I was going to tell them, like, I'm involved in an organization that's building a hospital, and it's going to be called On Passive Save the Women and Children of the World.
Well, I think
So-
isn't that good? That's great news. So maybe we need Richard to help us in World Heart Caregivers. There, I recruited Richard.
There you go, Richard. You now have been recruited.
So I
Thank
need
you so
that
much,
kind of
Doctor.
support. Pardon
Thank
me?
you, Doctor, for your answer. I appreciate it. And I can see that you have a heart full of love that was given to you by God, just like all of us. That is what our purpose is
And-
to give
and
this
all-
love to the world.
And all your help all what you can do can only help. And if you put in your expertise, then I can use my expertise more for what I really can do well, surgery. But I spend a lot of time, like I'm talking to you now tonight, doing this a lot of other things to make it work so that I can do that surgery. And so whatever help you can give, whether it's administrative or advice and being there, I think I will really appreciate that. As I said, we all have something to offer,
Thank you, Doctor. God bless you and your family, and take care of all of you.
Thank you, Richard.
Thank you, Richard. Guys, and I have the website with me. And also you can contact me or Gemma, and we can get you to the doctor. And from information, if you want to email him or talk to him, I'm not sure if you want to just go to the website. Probably be the easiest way to do it, right, Doc? If they want to get a hold of
Yes,
you.
and that the phone number, so I don't tell everybody that, because me and my wife, we had to start it. The phone number is my personal cell phone
Okay.
on that site. And so I can always be reached to ask. And if you have a look at the site, you can see it's mostly colleagues and people like that who are helping. But I like what you have been telling me, I don't know what you will do concretely, but to know that there are people full of this kind of intention, what you have, that's already encouraging to me. I mean, I know I'm not on the wrong track,
No, you are not on the wrong track at all. Not at all. Very good questions, Richard. Thank you very much. And you're going to find out, Doctor, there's a lot of people in here.
Yeah.
I call these the angels. I started something a long time ago, and I looked for Obless on Passive Angels. And what you're looking at right now is quite a lot of them to go with me and go through the world. Like angels come in all different sizes, colors, and it doesn't matter to us. All these people are here to help humanity. And I absolutely love meeting people like you who are doing something about it. A lot of us, we're putting things together right now through Obless and then Passive, just through us doing these small groups. But people that do it like yourself, man, I give you nothing but respect, love, and compassion, because we all want to follow in your footsteps, because whatever you're doing is phenomenal to all of us, Doctor.
Yes, and thank you for what you're doing, because if it's this love and this spirit that's what's helping me to do what I do, and maybe also when you see what I do, it's helping you to do what you are doing. It's
Absolutely. All right. Okay, Doctor, my Queen Benny with that beautiful smile, please unmute yourself.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon to my brothers and sisters. I want to welcome each and everyone. Thank you, Brother Chris. Dr. Kish, I applaud you for taking good care of those two children, despite the fact that you are taking care of a lot of people. I do have two questions. One is short. You stated that you met Mother Teresa. I noticed that she died 1997.
7, yeah. We met in
Yes.
94.
You met her 1994?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Yes. So unfortunately, a few years later, she passed away.
Great. Now, based upon these children or these mentally challenged children I know that when a woman is pregnant, women, they don't know that they will deliver mentally challenged kids. I really applaud some of those women because I have worked in that environment. Now, we know about the children and their multiple challenges. Could you please talk about any side work on the mental situation of their parents and family?
Okay.
So what I'm saying is, remember that these parents, they did not know that they will have these children.
Do you mean the children I adopted?
Well, not only
Any
the children you adopted,
Okay.
any, yes, please.
Yes.
Do you mind to please talk about any side work on the mental situation of their parents and their families?
Yeah, so if I understand the question, my response would be that the first thing I think in a family or with parents and a mentally handicapped, well, let's say a mentally incapacitated or less gifted child, is to appreciate. For me, I first of all appreciate what the parents have, what their issues might be. So parents, might be disappointed. They will be sorry for their child. So my first efforts would be to let that parent know that their child is worthy too, and that they invest in that parent, that they know that they are strong, they are worthy, and they actually have been given an opportunity. I have adopted children who I look after. So if it's their own child, even with whatever the child has, you have to be able to, and it's not easy, but I think you have to be able to make them proud to have that child and to do the best they can do for that child, as they would for a normal, I mean, for a child who wasn't that way. You understand? To take off that veil and not only see the child as a mentally challenged child, but to see the child as a child. It's my child, with a lot of difficulties, but it's my child. And I will do everything I can to make that child also have a worthy life. And so it's the same principle, but I'm just trying to say that take away the blockage that they may have in themselves, because you're doing so many things in Obless for so many people around the world. It's easy, like I said, to do for your own child, handicapped or not. But you have to be able to get to that stage where you see that the Lord has given you here another opportunity to give somebody a worthy life. That's how I see it. So I don't really see, as a matter of fact, when I first spoke to Mother Teresa, I asked for a physically handicapped child. And the reason I said physically handicapped was not to be unfair if my wife wasn't, prepared to handle that.
Yes, please. Thank you so much for the answer. You stated that you are sending, let me say, people to go and study.
Yes.
You are training them. I wish I was young enough to work with you.
Well, maybe you can still do something.
Certainly, as soon as our company launches, I will definitely work with you. And just to let you know that with what you're trying to do, Obless will definitely help. And when it comes to finance, I know that there are certain people who can handle money. And I want you to know that I can handle money to make sure that it goes the right way, to make sure that they buy the right equipment when the time comes. So you can count on me. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, doctor. We appreciate you.
Yeah. And if I may add to that, with the people like you or like Obless, I don't know how the idea came about for Obless, but you can do more. It can even allow us to do more for more people when you have some support to do it. Like now, I went to Nicaragua, I pay my own fare, I pay my own stay and all that, but I wouldn't go 2 or 3 other countries at the same time because just to keep the price down. But you know what I'm trying to say? Like, you don't have to pay for me, I pay for myself. But what I mean, it can allow organizations, whether our organization or another, to reach more people.
Yes, please. And if I may ask one more question, based
Yeah.
upon those children, right? Do they talk? Can they talk?
Yes, they can.
Okay, good. Now,
some of them are very small, months old. Some of them are older.
Good. Those that are older, have you asked them anything like what are their goals? What do they really want to do? Despite the fact that they are a little bit challenged.
No, the children who are so most of the children we operate have cardiac problems, heart problems. But they have some problem with their heart and they wouldn't live a long time, maybe a couple of years or a couple of months, and so we are able to correct that. But the whole idea is to give them an opportunity like you and I have. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your answer. And like I said, we applaud you coming here, and the heart that you have is the heart that our CEO, Mr. Ash Mufere, has as well, because of the vision that he saw and decided to create this opportunity for all of us. Thank you so much, Doc.
Thank you.
Chris, you're muted, Chris. Unmute yourself, please.
Holy cow. I said some important things. Now I forgot. No. Great questions, Dr. Benny. And we got Narelle from Workon from Australia. Go ahead, Narelle. Please unmute yourself.
Thank you, Chris. And thank you, Doctor. My name is Narayan and I am from Australia.
Yes.
Firstly, I want to say thank you. I am a survivor of open heart surgery. Back in 2015, I had a triple bypass. I didn't know that I had any sort of problems with my heart. I didn't have any precautionary warnings, anything like that. I woke having a heart attack one morning, rushed to hospital and was operated on and had that life-saving surgery. What a blessing it is to have you here today, because people need to understand the pressure behind. Here in Australia, we have public hospitals. We don't have to pay a cent to have any of our surgeries. You can pay into a private healthcare basically to get a better room in the hospital. It doesn't necessarily mean a better doctor. But what you are doing for the children, honestly, the feeling of gratitude when you go through such traumatic surgery, it never leaves you, because you feel like you've been given a second chance. Now, as an adult, that is overwhelming at times, but I can just imagine for the children. I am in a open heart surgery worldwide group. Where people go in and support each other to what's coming up, because it's very scary when you know. When you don't know, I went into it quite believing that God was just going to keep me alive, which he did, but it also changes you for the purpose that you have in your life. I do have a question.
Yes.
And only because I've been through the surgery, I still today get overwhelmed. I suffer with anxiety, as you can tell. It's very emotional, close to my heart, so to speak. However, like you talk about sending people or having people that you're training, those who use the heart lung transplant machine, those who do the actual surgeries, which is so important. But one of the things I know that lacks here in Australia is the mental support, the follow-up, the psychology, the counselling afterwards, because that is what I think is needed so much more. So I'm asking the question, do you have that sort of support? Is there somehow that we can also support that?
Yes, as a matter of fact, 2 hours before this meeting, I spoke to someone because of the meetings in Nicaragua last week and asked her if she will be, she runs the revalidation center here. And we're not only physically, but mentally support people after the operation, and especially needed in countries like that. So for sure, I don't care. I mean, I can call it Obless revalidation. I mean, for me, it's the same, as long as the people get it. And to say to you, I spent 2 years to get advanced training in cardiac transplantation in Perth, in Australia. So I'm quite familiar with the Australian system, and I have operated on a lot of patients in Australia. As a matter of fact, I have operated on a lot of indigenous people in Australia for a particular operation where we use human valves to replace their heart valves because they don't have care when they go into the outback. A lot of the indigenous people don't come back to the hospital. And so I'm quite familiar with the Australian healthcare, and it costs nothing in Australia, but in Nicaragua, for instance, last week I was negotiating with, telling them, look, for every 3 people that we operate who can pay something to the hospital, not to me, but to the cost, we will try to save a little of that so we can operate on 2 people who are living in a hut and cannot afford something, and they agreed to it. So that's how we try to fund it. Like even in those poor countries, there are some people, when they get sick, they will travel to America or somewhere. But if we can give them the operation there, they can have it with their own people, not me, the people we train. So for every 3 of those, if we can operate on 2 who are not so well off, then that's how we try to pay for them. But I think your point is very important. I think the post-operative care should be, and when the patient is discharged, that should be as important as any of the other ones, because you have to go back to life normally. And and I often give the example of, Henry Kissinger of the United States. Most people know him. And so he had several bypasses before he became the foreign secretary. So you can go back to normal life, but you need some support. Thank you for raising that point.
That's okay. I just want to make sure, because being a person who has been through open heart surgery, they send you for like physical exercise, to get the heart working, and you walking and everything like that. But a lot is forgotten. I know over here they are have put together by professionals now and making note of post-perfusion, which is called pump head. And that is a serious case in a sense of people don't understand unless you've been through heart surgery, how that do.
I do understand.
Yeah, I know you understand, and I thank you. Once again, I'm going to keep it short. I'm just going to say thank you so much for saving not only the people that you do help, but the children. And with Obless, we are going to save so many more people. So thank you once again for coming on here today.
Thanks for the point. I noted so to emphasize next time to the group, it's as important as the surgery.
Absolutely.
Great questions, Narayan. Not only are we looking at a gentleman who's done amazing things, but he's teaching us medical stuff too. I kind of like that. We're getting a double Obless tonight, I think, Doctor. All right, Narayan, thank you very much. Marcianne, please bring out that beautiful voice.
Thank you so much, Chris. Thank you, Dr. Kihanarin.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Yes, Kishan.
Okay. Yeah, thank you. This is a great presentation. And For all what you have been saying, it looked like you really know nothing about this great company on passive. It looked like you are not a founder. So for that, I'm going to bless your 2 children that you adopted with 2 positions. And I'm going to ask Chris, because I'm sure that he had some pending position. So you can create an email address and give it to Chris, because you have to be a founder. We cannot just let you go that way. You cannot just go. You have a lot that we can have in common to help so many people around the world. If we are going to be giving you a little change, it's not going to be worthy. Those children have to be funded. So those 2 kids that you adopted long time ago, on passive is not going to be the next parent for the kids and the generation to come for those kids. So please create 2 email addresses, send it to Chris Johnson. He's going to tell you what you have to do, and I will take care of that. And I guarantee you, when the time comes to activate those accounts, that's my first account that I'm going to activate. Those 2 accounts. That's going to be the first account I will activate it.
CN, first I want to say thank you. This is Gemma. Gemma is the one that found the docs, though. If anything, we got to they're going to go to Gemma, and we definitely can help Gemma do that.
Yeah. Whoever brought him here, I didn't know. I thought maybe it was one of the people that they contacted you to come. So Gemma will give him if she doesn't have a pending account, she can look for whoever have a pending account.
I'll help her with that. Yeah. I'll help her with that.
Yes. So I mean, this is just really amazing. And what you are doing is what some of us, we have been trying to do for a long time, but we doesn't have all the capacity or everything that you do have. Because saving life, you're doing it so beautifully with expectation of nothing. So now that we have this great company, I mean, all the little machine that you want to have, instead of buying the refurbished one, I think you're going to be having it now, the industrial one. So you will be able to give it out to other people and maybe train other people to do the same thing that you are doing. In case that you are not around tomorrow, somebody can continue that job. That's a legacy living. Yes. So I really applaud you for everything you do. And hopefully you are going to get to so many countries around the world, because I know children are dying for that cause that you are helping for transplanting everywhere. I personally, this evening, I just lost a sister-in-law because there was no oxygen in the hospital where she was in Cameroon. The doctor asked her to go home because there's no oxygen. And her own home, they have to take her to another hospital, but she died on her way. So those are the little things that sometimes we take for granted. But I'm sure that when on passive launch the Obless situation, a lot of us will be able to, at least those that they are still alive, to have those oxygen at any moment of their life. And thank you so much, Doctor, for everything you are doing. God bless you. You are taking the past state of this great company. We need people like you more and more. Thank you.
You're welcome. I just to mention, so the Cameroon is one of the places we would like to go because we know it's needed there, cardiac surgery. It's one of, we went to Burundi and we work a lot. Many members of the pediatric team also are from Belgium. And because of the history and the link with the Belgian Congo and some areas in Rwanda, things like that, people are aware a lot of what the needs are. And Cameroon is one of the places that we hope to go to. Actually, there's a nurse who works here and her brother is a physician in Cameroon. And I had already asked her that he would know where the biggest need was and which hospital we should come. So there you can help us with that.
I will, and I'm so glad you consider Cameroon. I'm from Cameroon as well. And there's so many little things that we have been putting in place, not only in Cameroon, in other countries in Africa. Like I said, it was the stuff that we used to do from our own. maybe trying to find a way to make it better. And thank God we have Obless from Unpassive that is going to open the door for us and make people know who we are, just like you today. Because of Unpassive, I came to know you, and 1+4 million people around the world, they are going to know who you are. So, and this company is not just here to just bringing that little hope for one person. It's for a lot of people. We are not even launched yet, but you can already see the heart and you can feel the heart. You can feel everybody heart. You can feel what people want to do so much. And I'm really thank God that we have Unpassive. I'm thank God for Mr. Ash Mufara that share his heart, that know that lifted, he want to try to help people like me, like you, people that they want to help other people. He give all those platform of Obless. So I believe that together we are going to do so many things. And count on me. You're going to be getting me very soon in your website, because I'm going to be telling people who you are, where you are, and how to get contact with you. And I'm sure that you are not going to be overwhelmed, because that's something that you do with a beautiful smile on your face. So
when you go to the site, you will see that there are many doctors. So I am looking after for the day that I'm not able to do it. You will see some good surgeons and everybody on the list who already would be the people who could do that tomorrow if I wasn't able to do it. And so I'm taking care of that aspect of it also.
wow, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. Thank you so much. Thank
You're
you.
welcome. You're
Let me
welcome.
give the balance of my time to somebody else.
Mercy, and thank you. Thank you for what you did. We will figure it out with Gemma. Like I said, we know we try to respect that rule, and we'll do whatever we can. I see some people saying, let's all donate. We'll take care of the doc, don't worry, because he's been taking care of a lot of people. So I really believe, Doctor, that Ash Mufara would love to have a wonderful conversation with you, because we do have dentists, doctors in this family. We call them passive, and they're doing a lot of work to try to create a lot of new things for healthcare in the future, many things. So we don't just work on one thing. We're going to work on multiple things. So, okay, Mercy, thank you very much for the wonderful questions and the wonderful gift. Mirthalyn Butler, wow, come on down, young lady, in that beautiful yellow dress.
Good evening, everyone. Hello, Dr. Kish.
Yeah, good
I would
evening.
like to thank you so much for all the good work you're doing around the world. Basically, everybody have touched on what I wanted to say, but I'm still going to kind of ask my question. When you order all of these high-tech machines for the hospital to do the great work that you're doing, what happens if the machines break down? Do you have somebody in training to operate the machines, and do you have somebody in training for the for nurses that to make sure that those machines are run correctly?
Correct. So that's very important. And what I did for our work is that I got the engineers, the clinical engineers, and on the website, there's some clinical engineers who work at the hospital here. And as a matter of fact, sometimes the company don't give you those machines if you cannot provide something to say how they will be maintained, because they don't want to be responsible for the machine if they're not maintained well. So these clinical engineers, we hook them, we choose some clinical, they have clinical engineers, maybe they're not as knowledgeable in these machines yet, but we teach the clinical engineers there how to do it. And while we are training the people in the country, the clinical engineer goes there to make sure everything is run well, both for the intensive care ventilators or anything that we need. So we try to look after it.
Sorry, so maybe in the future, we could probably look at Obless to help have people who will be trained, qualified people who will be highly trained.
Yeah,
so for the less fortunate, poorer countries, that when these machines break down, they're not just sitting there and then people are not getting the help that they need.
That would be a big help, because, you know, I have become a professional beggar. because
I like that.
I am not ashamed to beg, because when I'm a machine breakdown, I go to the clinical engineer. Although they volunteer to go, I still have to tell, what do you think? You think you can make a trip? When can you go? And things like that. I have to make it happen. But if there were some professional people who could volunteer some of their effort or time or knowledge, that will take away that little hurdle.
Or maybe we could send people off to, their own universities. We can now pay to have them train, and they will be there in their country to take care of all of this.
Yeah, we can send them to the United States, to wherever the companies would train them if we could send them there.
So we probably need to look into that. That is something that's, I think is very, very important.
I am very amazed.
Sorry, go ahead.
I'm very amazed by some of the things I'm learning from the group also, that people have very much insight into what's happening here, because those things are very critical to any program or to our work anyway. Thank you.
And Chris, one more thing. I think we all found us in on passive. We have to talk to Dr. Bill Williams, because I think Dr. Kish needs to be one of the top 100 doctors in the world.
Yeah, you know what I think? I think Dr. Kish is already a top 1 doctor in the world. And I listen, this is how I read you, doctor. I'm not a person to put labels on myself or anyone. I look at you and I kind of feel you out thinking you don't want to be recognized or noticed. You just want to do good, which is kind of like how I am. I believe you're that kind of person. I absolutely love people like you. I don't think you're looking for notoriety. I think you're looking just to be what a real human is supposed to be, and just helping people out. Am I close, doctor? Am I close?
Yeah, you're very close. And at least I don't want to be, you don't have to do anything. One of the things to do this, I don't like to, I know that you brought it up, I don't want to impose my own, but to do this kind of work earnestly, and I try to seek that out in the people who come to help, selflessness. And when you get hold of that, just by being selfless, you have much more than notoriety can give to you. If you understand what it is to be selfless, you're already feeling more important than whatever place your poster is hanging. You understand?
You know what, Doc? You and I are going to get along just fine, because I just absolutely love what you said. Try to live my life like that too, believe it or not. And we have a lot of people on here who are those people, those words you just said, a lot of them. So we're not looking for notoriety. We truly just want to help people. And
yeah, if I may complete, and when you have that selflessness, you are more than shocked. You are getting more than you think you're giving. And you cannot explain. So now tonight, so even if nobody gave anything, all these people I saw here who have this kind of intention and love to do something, well, look at how much I got there. You know what I mean? So when you get that selflessness, you're getting more, in fact, about it. Thanks.
Mirthlin, thank you for those wonderful comments.
Thank you so much. And Gemma, thank you so much for extending the invitation. And Dr. Kish, thank you for coming on such short notice. We do appreciate you.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
Absolutely. Yeah, we don't want to forget Jim. I won't forget Jim. I never forget Gemma, but I'm going to give her a lot of shout outs for doing this going at the end there. All right. Thank you, Mirthlin. I have another beautiful sister of mine just pinked out tonight. Gladys, please unmute yourself. You look amazing, young lady.
Thank you, Brother Chris, so much. And thank you, Dr. Kishanarian.
Thank you.
And for everybody who is on. First, I begin by introducing myself. My name is Gladys. I'm originally from Kenya, but I'm currently in the United States. And allow me to say, I thank God for your life. And this is because after listening to you, what you are doing around the world, with such a humble heart, we can see compassion through your eyes. And it's not easy, but you have done it selflessly. I'm sure by now you know, and I know what it means for a child in a poor country or in a country that is not privileged to have such high-tech equipments that are in developed countries, having a heart transplant or a heart surgery in a remote part of the world. Thank you for that. Because number one, such procedures are very, very expensive. The equipments are limited. People who are trained to do such work in those countries are few. And so someone has to step up to do something. And that's what you did. And that's the heart of our CEO, Ashim Fare. You said you don't know how this idea of Obless came about. He got fed up with the same things that you felt fed up, or you felt you had to do something. Things like children sick or people sick and they have no access to health care, people sleeping hungry, children or people not being able to be educated because of lack of finances or access to education systems that work. So for you to do what you are doing, I really, really thank you from my heart. And I'm happy that you met Mother Teresa. I could have loved to meet her, but I never had a chance. So that's a blessing. And I believe that part of who you are is who you were born, probably raised and shaped by your environment. And some of the things are things that you got to learn as you grow up. But you also remember God, that there is a creator who gives wisdom, and he has given you that wisdom to do what you do. You can count on me. You said that you will like to get help, but we want to make sure we do it the right way through Chris and through Obless. But you can count on us, many of us, because we are ambassadors who are ready to do something good to humanity. And what else can we do than empowering people? I like the fact that what you are doing, you are focused on empowering people, not just giving them, helping them, and leaving them. And that's what our CEO wants to use Obless to accomplish, to empower people so that they can be independent, so that they can also go train, equip, and also wherever they train those people to go out and continue to help people. And I'm amazed when you say that you don't want money, you don't want it direct to your hands. Many people will want to have the money, but you say all you need is people to help, to handle that money and make sure that you have the equipment that you need. Now I come to my question after the comments. Understanding, I'm a registered nurse, and I understand that care can be very intense, especially after heart transplant or heart procedures. And some equipments need electricity, like breathing machines, for them to be able to function. Have you been in a situation where a patient needed an equipment after leaving the hospital and they did not have electricity at home? Number two, after such heavy procedures like heart transplant, are you able to, are the parents able or caregivers able to be trained to continue providing care when they leave the hospital, when they go home, for the family members or loved ones who have had surgery? Those are my questions.
Okay. So first of all, thank you very much, and for noticing that we try to empower people. But I also want to add, maybe I'm too much like that, but I want to empower them, but I want them to know, first of all, that they are already empowered. They are empowered, and they just have to recognize that. And then I will empower them more, but we are all empowered. And so we try to empower them, and that they recognize that without me, they're empowered. They just need this opportunity.
You are helping them to discover their potential.
Exactly. And now we're one of the first things we do is select the people, and like I said, when I brought the boy here from Guyana, we trained him in kidney transplant, and then we took the pharmacists and the nurses here. The government of Alberta helped. They didn't give me anything, but they paid everything for them to go. They allowed them to take leave from their work, and they went down there and trained the pharmacists and the doctors how you give these medications, how you follow. We even set up a whole unit there with some friends of colleagues who I asked to go with me, where they all can get their ultrasound and they get checked in their kidneys, just the same as in Canada. And so we do take care that happens. Of course, it would be useless to do the surgeries and not have the follow-up.
Okay.
Yeah.
So have you had a situation where a patient needed an equipment to use after being discharged from the hospital, but they did not have electricity at home?
No, I haven't had that as yet, where we send them. We haven't had that situation where they will need something at home. So
Okay.
We try to make sure, but if that's the case, we would, of course, have to make sure that they do have the electricity at home. And that's something that when we get to those stages, that's when like Obless will help, but we have to get the governments and the people who are looking after those children in their country to realize that this kind of thing that should be a priority for them, that people have access to good water, to good electricity, good road. Those are basic needs. But sometimes when we do this work, the government gets encouraged, and we hope, right, with the help of the Lord, that they also see what they need to do.
Thank you very much. And it's good to include the government, because I believe there's a lot of money in the government, but probably needs a little bit of input from people like you so that the money can go to the right places. Thank you so much.
Yes, your concerns are valid. Thanks.
Thank you very much. My sister in pink, Gladys, nice questions, Doctor, great answers. All right, guys, it's about, goodness, my eyes are, Doc, I need an eye doctor. It's 20 to 11. It's 20 to 11. So we do end the stock at 11 o'clock. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more hands up, and we're calling it a night, guys. So Marty DeGarmo will be the last one that I call, because I know the doc might have a surgery tomorrow. I don't know, but
yes,
Jennifer,
but it's worth it.
Yeah, let's try to get it done a little early so we get this guy some rest. If he's doing surgery, I do not want his eyes looking like mine. Jennifer Dickerson, please unmute yourself, please.
Hi, thanks, Chris. Hi, doctor. Thanks for coming. I just can't imagine as a mother what it would be like to know that your child can't get any medical care in some of these countries. It's just heartbreaking, and it's so inspiring to have someone like you that goes and does that. And on that note, I am actually from Calgary as well.
Yes. Oh.
And I would love to give you any assistance you need with administration or any writing you need done or anything like that. So I would like to reach out to you and offer my help.
Oh, that's excellent. So Gemma may be able to coordinate that we can meet actually here.
Yeah, that would be great.
Calgary, I mean,
yeah.
So that will be a wonderful opportunity. Thanks for offering that. And so if Jenna is listening, she will know that. And the earliest opportunity, for instance, next Tuesday, I don't think I'm open next Tuesday or Thursday. We can meet for a coffee or something.
Okay, sure. Yeah, I work from home, so I'm pretty flexible. So
all right. So
anytime
Gemma, if you can be so kind.
Gemma, and get that organized.
Yes. Thank you so much, Jenna.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Very good.
That's all I had. Have a good night, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jen. Good. Making connections. I like that. All right, Miss Julie, please unmute yourself, my beautiful girlfriend, you.
Thank you so much, Chris. Hello, Dr. Krishan. My name is Julie. I am coming to you from California. And thank you so much for your time being here with us. I also want to say thank you, Gemma. I believe we cross paths for a reason. And I believe that I believe in God. I believe in the Lord lead us to a certain way that we can't expect it. So being able to understand how Gemma met you and how you're being here, I feel so blessed to have you here among us right now. So I just want to say thank you so much for your time being here. And the more important part of it is thank God for the knowledge, the heart, the blessing of your hands to be able to take care of so many people, and especially to the children. I do have 2 children myself, and I was driving actually hearing what you shared and hearing what you're saying right here. I'm so blessed to be able to know someone like you. And many of us who are listening, knowing the fact that we can give a hand to help. Right now, Obless is not out there to the world yet. The financial part will come, but many of us here looking forward to not only help you on what your mission is, your goal is, your vision is, but also how can we replicate what you are doing right now to other part of the world? And so the questions that I have for you is, how can we help you at this point? And the second part of that question is, how can we replicate what you are doing? And not only what we are doing, there's many of us in other countries could connect with the doctors in the area, and especially here in California, how can we help you at this time? Before I even finish the questions, I also wanted to let you know that on Passive, we do have another product called Academy, which will be a perfect product for you to be able to go on there and teach other doctors or the new doctors that are coming, the young doctors that are coming, to be able to do exactly what you are doing. So Gemma, I wanted to applaud you. And I know, and I said this to Gemma, I said, sometime the Holy Spirit lead us in a way that we don't even know, but they lead us here somewhere, somehow. And I go back to what I said is, we cross path for a reason. So thank you, Dr. Kirshand. And if you could address my questions, I would really appreciate it.
Yes. So the first question, if I recall, is how you can help me now.
Yes.
So I have explained a little that sometimes financially, I don't need any money, but we sometimes would buy equipment or for projects that can help the project itself. So something like Obless can help there, but also Obless has a lot of people. So there are a lot of experts, people who not even giving them money, but who, I'm just one person. So Obless is like so many people, and with brilliant ideas, and some questions here are so insight. People had such in-depth questions that even to advise us and to be a resource, to support me anyway, and the organization, that's how you can help me. And going forward, what I plan, one of my dreams is, and it can be, if Obless want to be part of that, Obless is welcome, and we can call it Obless World Heart Givers, I don't know, but is to, in each country where we go, I think a good idea would be to set up something like World Heart Caregivers, like our organization. So let something like that grow in each country, and so that they will be able to help another country. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Correct. So yes. We try to recreate our organization, for instance, in Nicaragua. Like, we can call it World Heart Caregivers Nicaragua, or we can call it, if Obless want to do that, I don't care really. Like Obless organize, and they can go and help other people. Like, I think that's one way to propagate this, and how you to replicate this for Obless would be to have that vision, first of all, to replicate it, and then to see how even using people like us to put down organization or roots or group of people in different places who can take this forward. That will be, I think that's the way to make sure this goes on, and to within Obless to make sure that there is a group of people focused on that type of thing, because Obless would have a lot of people. So a group of people who would focus on each one of those, which you probably already have, to make sure those kinds of project, this kind of project, they all move forward, and they're not just here today because we are all having a Zoom conference, you know?
Thank you, Dr. Kishand. And if I may ask, if you have anything that can help us, please send them to Gemma, and all of us here will support Gemma and then start sharing the information. Before I end, I pray that you continue to have health, strength, and wisdom, and also bless your hands, the hands that you are working, the mind that you are sharing the knowledge with other people. Thank you so much for your time being here with us.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Julie Wen. Okay, Mr. Gene, very good questions, Julie, and helpful questions. Mr. Gene, can you unmute yourself, please? Mr. Gene, you there? All right, we'll come back to Mr. Gene. Lister T, go ahead. Go ahead, Lister. We'll come back to Gene.
Thank you, Chris. First of all, I want to say how proud I am of my sister. And Julie has said some of the things that I wanted to say. This meeting was supposed to happen. Because the good Lord knows that Dr. Kishand was supposed to be here tonight. We needed to hear you. We needed to hear everything that you're sharing with us, because it's amazing what you do and what you still plan to do. I just have a simple question on the adoption of the two girls. How hard was it? And not only to, adopt them, but also to bring them to Canada?
Well, I adopted the girls when I was working in Belgium. I was the head of a unit in Belgium at the Catholic University of Leuven. And so I adopted them, but it was a long procedure. For instance, I'll tell you a little bit about the girls. I don't know, we know their ages approximately a couple of months. They were brought to the orphanage, left by a father who said the mother passed away when the little one was born, which is probably true because a lot of people die in childbirth. They were left at the orphanage. So they give approximate, they don't ask. The Mother Teresa, they don't ask you why you bring the children. Because if they start asking, they said, the people just leave the children on the street. So they say whatever they declare, they write. So they write that the mother died, and then these two children are left. And so they were left at the orphanage. And to get them to Belgium, they had to go through two processes. And it took one of them was about 6 months old. And when she came, she was 18 months old. So it took a year for the process to go through the Belgian court and then to go through the court in India. And so but Mother Teresa wanted no money and nothing like that. The only thing we did is volunteer to pay the fee of the lawyer fee in India. And it took about 1 year. And once they got that, because I was Canadian, if a Canadian adopts a child, that child is automatically a Canadian.
Okay.
It's the Canadian law. So you do not have to apply for Canadian citizenship. Anybody who is adopted by a Canadian parent is Canadian from the day that the adoption is certified.
That's great. That's good to know. So all I want to say to you is that I am so glad that you approached my sister or she approached you. I have no idea, but it is so great to have you here. Thank you so much. And I want you to know that Obless is in your corner. Everybody here will be helping.
Yeah, well,
That's so hard. That's so hard. We want to help, especially the children. Everybody here, they also know that the children, they're near and dear to my heart. So they all, you know, I am just so thrilled. I could hug her, but she's too far away. Anyway, it was great listening to you. You are amazing. Keep up the great work.
Thank you. Thank you. Very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lister. Yeah, hey guys, I'm loving this. A lot of great things. I knew it. See, you all were shy and hanging back. All right, I'm going to try this again. Mr. Gene, I can see you in that chair. I'm not sure. Gene Zango, Baptiste Zango, can you hear me? I seen you moving on there. I don't know if you dozed off or. All right, I'm going to call on. All right, I got another hand up, guys. That's the last hand because I know the doctor's got stuff to do. So I'm going to move Gene off and Marty, go right ahead.
Wow, wow, wow. Dr. Kashin, my name is Marty DeGarmo and I am your friend. Amazing. You lead with your heart. You are heart, sir. I feel an honor to even hear you tonight. You know, the thing that blew me away, you never mentioned money. You talk about empowering people, getting the money to the people that are already doing the projects, because they're out there. There's a lot of superstars out there that have no resources. And the biggest resource is people, like you said. And if you get people to believe they can, they will. And if they will, they'll share it with others. But what you said tonight is very powerful. You planted a seed here in Unpassive, my opinion. And there'll be a day from Unpassive where people have more time because their bills will be paid. And then you have people volunteer, and all they have to do is scale up what you've already done. And you could do that around the world because what works, works. And it's a beautiful thing. And you made it about empowering people. And you said very important thing.
Thank you.
Time and life. Life isn't long, it's a vapor. It seems like 3 weeks ago I was 20, next thing you know I'm 40, next thing you know I'm 62. It happens fast. Exactly. And what we do while we're here is very important because I think that's why we're here, to see how we would act. What would we do with our lifetime? And sir, you got an A+ in my book, and I appreciate listening to what you had to say. And when Obless starts, I'll be hunting you down to try to give you whatever I can. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Marty. Thank you very much.
There you have it. That's Marty DeGarmo. Marty, thank you very much for speaking and saying those wonderful words about the doc. All right, Alex, before I call you, Alex, I know Tina, she can't speak and I'm not understanding. I'm going to ask you the question for her, doctor, and I'm not sure if I'm saying it right. She says, could you ask if he has a way for anyone to sponsor a Chile program in Chile? I'm sure. It's like adopting a cholesterol, remotely giving them the support they need to succeed, whatever they wish for themselves. Do you understand? Or it's for a child. Do you understand that? Doctor?
Chris, I think a little guy, I have also 2 of my own children, and one of them, you go to bed. I think he just came in and took my attention for that second. Could you kindly repeat it?
Sure, I could, because I want to get you out of here. I know you're tired. This is from a lady named Tina. She would like to know, and I hope I ask it right. She said, is there a way for anyone to sponsor a child program? It's like adopting a cholesterol, remotely giving them the support they need to succeed, whatever they wish for themselves for a child. You understand that?
Yes, we know enough people of the places where we go, where that kind of approach will be beneficial, not to one, but to many children around in the poor countries. I mean, that's what we are doing for all those children. So for certain, someone can do that for them, other people.
All right, Tina, I know she's on your list, and I hope that answered. Thank you. I didn't mean chili. She wrote chili instead of child. I figured it out. So my eyes, doc. I need an eye doctor, really. Okay, Alex, the last question tonight. Alex from P&G, can you please unmute yourself?
Hi, thank you, Chris.
Hi, Alex.
Hello, Alex.
Hello. Thank you, everybody. I'm really privileged here. I'm honored to be here in this webinar. Just by listening to our doctor speaking there is very, very touching day. I'm really, really touched by what you are doing right there in Nicaragua and the other countries that you have moved around doing your work as a doctor. Your work is really, really amazing. I'm really happy about that. So I just want to tell you that you are really touching here. I'm watching you here from Papua New Guinea, and I'm really happy. I think we are really here behind you here. Soon as the company goes to the launch and the airports are running, we assure you we will be right behind what you are doing from where you are. And the other thing is we will also invite more people like you also in the doctor profession to come over in Papua New Guinea and maybe do something like what you are doing there, right here in Papua New Guinea. We are very, very, very much in need of doctors, people like you here in our country. So thank you very much. Thank you very much for your presentation. You are a very touching person. So
thank you.
From what you are doing, it's from your passion. So
yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you
for
being with.
So there,
thank you.
Thank you. So there, Chris. So there is another way that Obless can help. Obless let us come and know where there is a need, because there are so many members around the world. I don't know what's needed. And when you say, just as an example, you say like in Papua New Guinea, then you will know the hospital. You will know the people we can talk to. You can tell them what we can offer, and then we can take it from there. Then we will do all we can and to make it happen. But we have to know who, where, what is needed. You know, like Obless wants to know also what is needed. So thank you. But that's another way Obless can help. But I'm amazed that you have this group of people in Obless that seems very similar-minded in terms of helping. You know, that's very encouraging. Thank you very much. I'm going to bed quite happy tonight. There's a lot of other people better than me who are around.
Thank you, Doctor. You are right here behind from Papua New Guinea.
Thank you.
Thank you.
He is a surgeon, Marty, by the way. He actually does. Marty's calling. Yes, Marty, he's a surgeon. He just doesn't get people to do the work. He gets his hands in there and does his own self. First of all, I want to thank two special people tonight, which is the lady that made this possible, Gemma Rameke from Canada. Thank you. I love you, my beautiful sister, for bringing this God, I think, beautiful sent man to, well, listen, Doc, you got people from all over the world, not only on this panel, but in the Impassive family, who I think you fit right in. I think you were one of the missing pieces of the puzzle I was looking for, and you just filled that spot. My prayers are always going to be with you. I look forward to working with your organization through Obless and helping you out and help as many kids. And you already see you got a lot of volunteers that want to jump right in. I did send your charity network out to these people, so I'm sure they're going to get in touch with you. Also, I'll give Gemma information that other people want to get in contact with you through Gemma, and you guys can get in contact. But I want to thank you very much, you two. I also want to thank Lister T and let me see, who am I thinking? John, Bruce, Gene, Lister, for keeping an eye on the chats and the YouTubes, because we're shared out to 20 YouTubes, Doctor. Not just here, we're shared out for over 20 YouTubes around the world, which is really cool. So you were talking to a lot of people. I just didn't want to make you nervous. You know, I don't think you get nervous anyway. I want to thank Julie Wen, Lynn Nakamoto for running the board always. I want to thank everyone on the panel for the excellent questions that you asked. And Daryl Cook for taking the notes as always. You got to see him in the beginning. And a big heartfelt to Marty DeGarmo for allowing us to stream and do this through the corporate Zoom. And Doc, you amaze me. I was looking for someone like you. I think you found me. Gemma found me through you, and I'm glad you're part of this. And like I said, I think we're all looking forward to getting to know you more and helping you a lot with a lot of good causes. So thank you, Doctor.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, everybody.
All right, you guys all unmute yourselves, say goodnight. Let's let this doctor go to bed.
No.
Thank you.
Thanks, Doctor.
Thank you, Doctor.
Good night,
Thank you, Doctor. Thank you for your everything. Love you. God bless you. Lovely,
Good night, Kristen. Good night,
from New York.
everyone.
Thank you, and good night to all. Good night.
Hey guys,
Good night. Good night. Jenny. Good night.
Good night, everyone. Thanks, Gemma.
Kenya.
Night, good night, good night.
Julie.
I had to mute you. Hold on. There's an announcement Marty wants to make. So I hate doing that, but he said, get me back on there. So Marty DeGarmo, go ahead. Can you hear me, Marty?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead. I muted it.
I didn't say it quite like that. Okay. Anyway, just kind of an update. You know that the new site, Founder site, was supposed to go live today or tomorrow. It might be tomorrow afternoon or a little later. What happened was, in a meeting today, one of the managers was called out. He left. He called back later and told Ash and everybody his father had passed away. He's only 62 years old. And this guy is the manager of the Founder site. So he had to go home, which is another city. And some of the other managers went with him to comfort him because they're friends. So it might not be tomorrow, but maybe the next day. And I know Ash doesn't have to explain that, but that is what happened. So the site's ready. They just don't want to turn it on without that gentleman present. That's all I wanted to say. So.
All right. Thank you, Marty. Hey, one more thing I forgot to say. And you all say one person cannot make a difference. I think you understand that when I say that every week is one person can make a difference, and over 1 million people are going to crush it. Don't you ever forget that. Hey, world, Obless is coming to clean up the mess, and you're all part of it. Go ahead. Unmute yourself like Teresa Triskin. Make some noise. Say goodnight.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.
Papua New Guinea.
Good night, Jennifer. Good night, everyone. Night, everybody.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Take care.
Good night, baby.
Hey, brother. Good night.
All right. Good night. Great webinar. Enjoy.
Good night, everybody.
Love y'all.
Love y'all. Good night.
Good night. Richard. Good night, Richard. Good night, Richard.
Good night, Richard. Good night. Good night, everyone. I'm from New York.
Hi, Lynn. Hi.
Good night.
Oh, good night.
Good night.
Bye, everyone.
Yeah, Marty's out. Good night.
Bye, Lisa.
Bye, everybody. Have a blessed day.
Bye, Mom.